Captain Bob Smith here with BoatTest.com. Now, one of the things I'm always trying to do is look for things that's going to make my life and your life as a boater better. Now, we're always dealing with saltwater environment when we're working around the coastline. I lived in Tampa for 14 years, and it was a constant issue that I had to deal with. Now, what I've got here is an example of a head gasket from an engine. Now, this gentleman was a marine mechanic, so he knew how to take care of his engine. He was doing meticulous care every time he went out. He rinsed the engine with fresh water so it didn't have salt water setting in there. Well, you can see there's still damage there because you can't rinse all the salt off of it. What does that salt do when it gets in there? Well, it begins to adhere to the surfaces. As you can see here, it actually eroded away the gasket, and you can also see rust in here. Take the same engine, go 1 year later, using a product that will break down that and make it hard for the salt to adhere to the metals. And you can see here, it looks like a brand new gasket, as a matter of fact. I would think it was a brand new gasket if it was handed to me. What we're working with today is salt away. What we have in this bottle here is a nail, a ferrous piece of metal, like all engines are, that has been put in a salt, 10% salt solution, very much like what salt water is that we run our boats in. This was done on July 9th, and today is July 18th. So 9 days later, got a very rusty water. This one was put in salt away, which is one of these products that I've been talking about, same day, and has been for as long as the other one. No rust at all. Looks like a brand new nail in there. It's just wet. This is a heat riser. Now, this was used in a boat for who knows how many years, and what we can see is it's almost occluded in here. Now, I had a sailboat that I ran, and I had a problem with the engine overheating. When I pulled the heat risers out to see what was going on, mine was almost occluded, just like this one. Now, if we use a product, something like Salt Away, we can prevent a lot of this from happening. It doesn't have a chance to adhere and start to bind with the metals and continue to rust. In fact, this one sat in an office for a while. It wasn't cracked when he picked it up, but you can see what happened. It continued to invade the metals and expand the metal until it actually broke open. So just because you rinsed it off doesn't mean you're getting rid of the salt. You don't see it, but it's still there unless you do something like a Salt Away product that will prevent the binding of the metals to the salt. Salt Away is a non-toxic, biodegradable product. It's very easy for us to use in our marine environment. We're going to tie it in line, put the product in the cup, and when we rinse the system, it's going to protect it. You're going to stop having the buildup of salt and corrosion in your system. So now your marine engines are going to last much longer with the protection of Salt Away.
Diesel fuel is the very lifeblood of industry. Every day in Australia, over 21 million litres of diesel are consumed to keep the wheels of industry turning. It's easy to measure the cost of fuel consumed, but one enormous, incalculable cost is the cost of the wheels of industry not turning. Diesel is a complex, delicately balanced distillation product of crude oil. It's not a mineral fuel, it's organic. Diesel is not only fuel for countless engines, it's also fuel, food, for a host of microscopic fungi, yeasts and bacteria. It's a marvellous environment. There's water for germination, a carbon source for food, dissolved oxygen and sulphur for respiration, and trace elements for growth. Cladosporium resinae is by far the most prevalent bug found in diesel fuel. Irritating problems such as faulty fuel gauges and disastrous ones such as total fuel system failure caused by blocked filters. Of particular concern are emergency power units. The same situation can of course arise in any system that uses fuel that may have been stored in the tank for some time. For example, large pleasure craft, farm machinery and road maintenance plant. The powerful acids these bugs produce corrode and pit pumps, fuel tanks and hoses, and destroy costly injector nozzles. In short, microbial contamination of your fuel can produce consequences every bit as horrifying as those caused by an infection of your own bloodstream. DeBug is simple. It has no moving parts, Fuel simply passes through it as part of your engine's normal cycle of fuel delivery. DeBug is effective. By causing the fuel to pass through a powerful magnetic field, organisms such as cladosporium are disintegrated to the point where they pass harmlessly through the fuel system, leaving no trace. Independent lab tests conducted by ICI Corporate Laboratory unequivocally confirm DeBug's effectiveness, and these results are reinforced by practical experience. DeBug is also simple and inexpensive to fit. And once in place, totally maintenance-free. Once DeBug is installed, you'll find engines will function more efficiently as fuel flow is improved and corrosion reduced. And incidents of total system failure due to fuel blockages or corrosion-induced failure will decrease. For large transport operators, potential cost savings are enormous. So confident are we of DeBug that we offer a 12-month warranty against manufacturing defects and an unconditional money-back guarantee should significant microbial contamination persist once the unit is correctly fitted and used. Beat the bug with DeBug. It's the cheapest and most effective insurance you'll ever take out on your fuel quality and your profitability.